Now Jesus led them out as they moved on to Jerusalem. The disciples were amazed, and those who followed were troubled and afraid. He took the 12 disciples aside privately and informed them once again about what he was soon to undergo. See, we are headed up to Jerusalem, and all that the prophets have written about the Son of Man are to be fulfilled. The Son of Man will be delivered up to the chief priests and the scribes. They will then condemn him to death and hand him over to the Gentiles so that they might mock him, insult him, spit on him, beat him, crucify and kill him. And 3 days later he will rise up, being raised to life on the third day. The disciples did not get this at all. Its meaning was lost on them, and they did not realize what he was talking to them about. Then they came to Bethany. There was a woman there whose brother had recently died, so she knelt down before Jesus. "Son of David," she implored him, "show me some compassion." But the disciples reproved her. Then Jesus became angry and went with her into the garden where his tomb was. At that moment, a voice was heard from within the tomb. Then Jesus went to the entrance and rolled away the stone. He went in to where the young man was, took him by his hand, and lifted him up. The man looked on Jesus with love and begged him to remain with him. They then came out of the tomb and entered into the young man's home, who, by the way, was very wealthy. 6 days later, Jesus gave him instruction. The man came to him that evening, clad only in a linen cloth. He stayed there with him overnight, for Jesus taught him the mystery of the kingdom of God. Then he left that place and crossed back over to the far side of the Jordan. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee approached him, together with her sons, knelt down before him, and asked him to do her a favor. Jesus asked her, "What would you like?" James and John said, "Teacher, we would like you to grant us our request." And he responded, "What would you have me do for you?" They answered, "Allow us to sit in your glory, one to your right and the other to your left." "Please," the mother asked Jesus, "order that one of these 2 sons of mine might sit to your right in the kingdom and the other to your left." But Jesus responded, "You don't know what you're asking of me. Are you able to drink from the cup of which I must soon partake, or of experiencing the same baptism which I am soon to undergo?" "Yes, we are," they answered him. "Indeed, you are to drink of my cup," he informed them, "and go through the same baptism with which I will be baptized. Nevertheless, it is not for me to grant a seat either to my right or to my left. It belongs instead to those for whom my Father has prepared it." When the 10 heard about this, they were furious with the 2 brothers, James and John. So Jesus called them to himself and said, "You know how those who are reckoned as governors over the Gentiles lord it over them, and how their superiors subjugate them as well. This is not how it will be with you. Rather, let anyone among you who aspires to greatness become your servant, and whoever would be first must be a servant to you, and indeed to all, even as the Son of Man has. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but in order to render service, and to offer his life as a ransom for many. You ought rather to try and outgrow smallness, forgoing greatness to become small. Upon receiving a dinner invitation, for example, do not go in and sit among the places of distinction, lest someone more illustrious than you should come along, and the host be compelled to approach you and say, 'Move on down,' and thus embarrass you. It would work more to your advantage for you to seat yourself in a lesser spot. That way, if someone less distinguished should come, the host will therefore say to you, 'Move on up,'